That was bad.
That
was bad. I tried. I messed it up last time, and I didn't do another impersonation. And we were trying to figure out which one to do this time.
Wait, should we all try to give an impression? Devin, go.
No. Ohana means family. That one was a little better, I guess.
That's good. But
good. The problem is like you can't just like go on this like crazy monologue like I did with Crush because he doesn't like talk all the time and it's a lot harder and I'm not as good with it.
Crush, the turtle?
Yes, you missed it.
You missed it.
Cody clearly does not listen to the podcast. He is not a Inkfinity podcast listener.
When did you do it?
You were even on the episode.
Was he?
Yes.
He was. That's right.
What episode?
Okay, back on track. We are full into winter spell. Mo is wearing his overcoat because it is cold because winter has arrived was what I was going for. Yeah, we're full into reveal season here. So we're going to talk our top reveals thus far, and Matt has been transformed into a cat, and so we're trying to figure out how we're going to deal with that as a team still. But we're confident that he's going to have the same abilities as a player that he always has, and so we're going to continue on about our ways.
He just pushes the cat. He pushes the cards off the table.
It's just like your deck is no longer playable. But yeah, so we have I think a quarter of the set revealed thus far. There's a lot of interesting stuff, so I'm really excited about a lot of the things we've seen, and so we're going to just kind of go through some of our favorites thus far, and kind of how we see some of these fitting into different decks, different meta opportunities, and then we're gonna go from there. So with that said, I guess we should just kind of jump in here and start. I do want to start in a more fun spot, however, so we're going to start with the Iconics, because we did get the Iconics revealed. And so looking at the first Iconic, we have Pocahontas, which this one is kind of interesting and for a very different reason. This is an Amber Pocahontas, but it almost feels like an Amethyst card. So this is definitely the first time I feel like we've had one of these.
You say that because it gives me Steel vibes.
Steel vibes? What is Steel about it? It's all purple.
It's like all the white and gray at the bottom.
I think it's it looks like a Duel Link to me, which it's not, but
I guess it does look like a Duel Link, if anything, because there definitely is amber tones to it, but it's just so purple.
All right. Competitive wise, does anyone know why I love this card? All depending on the shift target.
It protects Webby. I don't know.
So imagine in a world, because we don't know the shift target yet. We don't know what the cost is. But imagine a world we get a 1-drop 2/2, and you can go play Cursed Merfolk, play a second Cursed Merfolk, play a Pocahontas, shift onto the Pocahontas, protect your board, quest for 6, quest for 12 total. It gives me Pegasus vibes, shift Pegasus vibes for sure. This card's cool.
That is an interesting line for sure. I don't think we've talked about this one yet. So real quickly, it's a 5-cost inkable amber card, 3/6 stat line, quest for 2, shift 3, and has the ability that says when you play this character, if you use shift to play her, if none of your characters have challenged this turn, characters can't challenge until the start of your next turn. So it's very much an aggro card and just enabling your stuff to live unless there's some other bounce / damage. Steel damage stuff going on. So
it reminds me of Kita. It's like a very Kita-esque card, but it's not with the combo side, but more on the you can't attack back type of thing.
Yes, Mo, you're raising your hand.
This is also notably an Alma Madrigal card. Just throwing that out there.
What you just said?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
You don't have to quest. You can be singing. It's great.
Yeah. And then all of your little singers can't get challenged. So
can you not? Yep. Can you play her and then challenge? And then
no, you can't, because your characters or their characters can't challenge. It's very specifically that characters can't challenge.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Amethyst card? What's this?
No,
called?
this is the Amber one. This is the Amber legendary. That's what
Amber.
Yeah, as I was saying, it looks amethyst, but it's amber. So
yep, they went real purple with it.
Here's the other version. Yeah, it's
okay.
Very Yeah, Pocahontas I think is interesting. To most points, is very good aggro card. It could pair well with Tiana, where it's like you can challenge, but you have to pay more ink costs. Like there's just a lot of shenanigans around being able to use challenges to remove your opponent's characters. So pretty cool. And then second iconic we have is in iconic Moana from Sapphire. The 5-cost inkable 4/4 stat line quest for 2 has one of the potentially most bonkers abilities we've seen thus far on a card that says you can ink cards from your discard. So for your turn or for other cards with abilities for you to I have to say this very right because the rulings that they've given on this are like so very specific, and I know I'm not going to use the right verbiage, so somebody can correct me, but it's other cards that allow you to ink additionally for turn that isn't in effect, but in action, you can also do that. So like what I'm trying to say is like you can play Sail with Moana on board and then ink that Sail from your discard and so forth. So you can ink for turn from your discard. There are other actions that allow you to ink additionally. And those ones can be done from your discard as well. So
a card like Cinderella.
I guess I missed it. So it doesn't.
Will not.
Why does Sail work then? Because it says ink from the hand.
Anything? Yeah, go ahead, Mo. You can explain it better.
Anything that gives you an extra turn action to ink. Not a card like Tipo that says you may ink a card from your hand, or you may do this.
But didn't you read Sail and it said it didn't work?
Well, say you can do it throughout your turn. Like it's as a lingering effect.
Yeah. That's the best way to describe it. If it's like a lingering effect that can happen, like set 1 bell is a trigger for this. Sail.
But Sail specifically says you may put an additional card from your hand into the inkle this turn. Is just that's just saying you get an extra ink.
Yeah,
but you actually say what it does.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it like right in that time.
Well, no, I know that, but I'm saying, I mean, that card does not do what it says then. If
that's
like
weird.
They're rolling because like I'm right there with y'all. This card only works with things that give additional ones, but the Sail is worded really terribly.
Yeah,
because it says you can ink an additional card from your hand. This is
just be very
what this is.
Be very grateful. This does not work with Cinderella. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Just be very grateful.
Also, you think this is bonkers, Zach?
I think it has the potential to be. I'm not saying it's broken, it's busted broken, but I do think it's just card advantage. And anytime you have something with card advantage, you have to look at it.
Notably a princess, so even though it doesn't work off of Cinderella, it triggers her again. It gives you alternate lines and different 2-4-6 strategies to go 2-4-6-8 to do some even more bonkers things. I feel like this card is more of an enabler for Ruby Sapphire than it is for any of the common Sapphire decks to just adapt to it. I don't think Blue Green really wants to play this. They might, but Blue Steel, like, I always feel like they want to play a Tinker and Amari over this. Like, you can't just like concede pressure for that many turns without having access to some kind of like, I don't know. It's interesting. I like this card, but I definitely don't think it's like breaking the game anytime soon.
I think it's unplayable.
If it had Rush, it might be pretty good.
I personally think it might be like a top 5 to 10 card of the set.
I agree.
Oh,
I'm in that boat.
I'm glad. I think it's actually just never gonna see play.
Because I think you gotta draw every single turn.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like,
but not really.
Yeah, it's like
if it's a top deck, it's not gonna let you draw an additional card.
It doesn't cycle. It doesn't show you new cards, but it just says my cards in hand are good enough. I'm going to be happy with it. I think that's why I said like a deck that's just so hard up for resources like Ruby Sapphire will really enjoy a card like this. But I think a deck like Blue Green or even Blue Steel probably doesn't need this card. I do think it has potential. It's really cool.
I'm
But
never wrong.
I legitimately think there's another Sapphire card that's stronger in this set.
I will say this is the first iconic I actually want, so I'm very sad because it means I'm gonna actually have to go get an iconic.
Oh, this card's going to be worth an arm and a leg.
Yeah, it's insane for sure. But yeah, so those are 2 cool ones to start with, and then I think is it this one? Yeah, let's. I think everybody wants to talk about this one too. So keep the ancient ways. I know everybody's dying to talk about this one because we all feel like this is a very, very meta warping impactful card. So it is a 2-cost inkable song in steel, and its action is opponents can't play actions or items until the start of your next turn. So it's a singable Pete that also disallows the playing of action or of items on top of the actions. So yeah, I mean, Mo, I'll let you start with this one because I know you were very high on this very quickly, and I think my initial thought was, yeah, in Infinity, this is kind of just an insanely busted card because it takes away so many strategies. But you're very much on board of this is a good core card as well. So take it away, Mr. Mo.
So, well, I can't not touch on Infinity. I think this makes Green Steel tier 0. I think it does everything the deck needed. It provides them protection against their counters. It lets your Diablo live longer. And the pseudo loop with Max Goof plus Muses. Should I explain that for anyone not like watching?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
So Muses says you can bounce a character with 2 strength whenever you play a song. Max Goof says you can pay 1 extra ink, and he's a 2/2 to add a song from your discard back to your hand. So if you're up against a strategy like Blue Steel, or you're playing against Red Blue and they're getting onto B prep turns, you can loop the Max Goof and keep them off of actions that can answer your board, answer your like Diablo, for example. Keep them off actions and items while you're still furthering your game state with discard cards and advantages that just puts you into a really crazy game state. That's all Infinity. Let's talk core. I think this card is really cool. I think it enables some decks to have win conditions into other decks that they just didn't have before. Y'all know I was really big on Green Steel last set for quite a while, and I was a believer in it until I wasn't. And a big reason of that was I felt like Blue Green was unbeatable for that deck. You just had to hope they drew bad. And then even if they drew bad, your win condition was legit putting damage on something and drawing enough go-go's to win the game through that. So like this gives you a reasonable win condition while being a versatile card to use in Steel Mirrors. I think in Amethyst Steel, this does some really cool stuff. Like it allows you to play a Pete without spending the ink to play a Pete. So you can steal back Strength of a Raging Fire priority in Steel Mirrors, or you can do something like protect your Iago for a turn and then turn something on their turn with, or on your next turn with Elsa, take it out with Iago, get immediate value, and not have to worry about it. I do think for a lot of Steel decks, it's probably bait though, but I think it's a definite decent core card as well as broken in Infinity. Cody, tell me how I'm wrong.
Why am I gotta be the contrarian?
You always are. I don't know. You may disagree with me, and I'm happy with that too.
No, this card's really interesting. I think my hot take is I wish it wasn't steel.
Me too.
I think it definitely would have been more fun as like a different color. Because I feel like steel already so now steel gets all of the denial for non-characters, and now it also has the best character removal from like an affinity standpoint. That's not fun because I feel like that just makes steel just insane now. I don't know. Okay. Here's my actually the one thing I thought of whenever I saw this, and I was like, wow, that is gonna make it like going Diablo, seeing this like really crazy, and like the Muse loop thing. But I wonder if that's gonna make cards that challenge ready things more needed and kind of warps the format to be like really focused on like the combating stuff, because it's like, oh, if my opponent's gonna play 4 of these, then I can't be like overly greedy in like the lemon lime discard control deck. But I would love to see like, I don't know, I'm very fuzzy sick brain right now. What are some characters that can challenge ready things?
Arthur, Darkwing Duck are 2 that caught my mind immediately for Blue Steel to have an answer. Darkwing Duck can challenge villains, so he can punch Prince John in the face. That's kind of cool.
True. So like I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm just hoping that forms this. I will say this probably will end up leading to Indianapolis being a little bit more tricky than when I thought it was going to be initially. Already shakeups, and I love it.
Amber Steel with this card sounds actually ridiculous.
Just any skill deck,
Infinity
really.
or core?
Infinity. Only Infinity.
So is it just extra copies? So that's one thing I was curious about. Is it just extra copies of Pete, or is it like you play this over Pete?
No, I think you would probably still play Pete. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It depends on when the tournament is, probably. You know.
I mean, it stops items. I mean,
But,
that's a very big thing right now.
I think if there was an Infinity tournament tomorrow and we got to play with all the cards we've had revealed right now, and we were all playing against each other, I'm taking Amber Steel for this thing.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I think it's a very much like a. It's like just a standoff card. It's like, yeah, we already had Pete, but decks were able to win through Pete. Pete wasn't like that insanely like crucial, I guess, for like some decks were just like completely shut down because Pete existed. But this does the Pete thing and the item stuff, so I do enjoy it. I will say I'm very scared just specifically about Green Steel. Green Steel, definitely, I'm right there with you, Mo. It definitely, like, off the bat just feels like it's going to be the most oppressive thing ever, because having to deal with Pete's shenanigans, and also now they have all the crazy green stuff that's going on there. Probably not fun.
It might be awful for Infinity. It might be great, and it might be awful.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm leaning to the side. I'm hoping this is like okay and healthy, because it makes decks have to adapt to it. You know, like we can't just do our broken bull stuff, bull crap all the time.
I think he will make Pete more. This card will make Pete more popular, because like if you're up against Green Steel and they're looping stuff, the only out to this card is a Pete of your own.
Pete does counter this card.
I also think this opens up a niche for decks that are primary character based, perhaps of the green and or purple variety, color wise, to have some decent run into these decks, because like you don't care about actions, you don't care about the loop, you just want to play out your hand and make them answer you. But I will say Green Steel has been very powerful in Infinity with the max goof, like Ursula plus max goof, and you're just you're just double singing strength every single turn of the game is pretty toxic. I'm not gonna lie. And then they gave them this.
Yeah, I mean, cards like Pete and Ursula and Core have shown to be very dependent on the amount of powerful actions that are being played. This obviously has the ability to hit items as well, and so for Core, again, I think for that to be an important piece, they have to have more like support behind item strategies, which up until this point in rotation they really haven't. Granted, Chromacron's a thing, obviously, but ultimately, I think for Core, it's going to be the long-term viability of action and item-based strategies, which we've seen a couple good actions. Obviously, Steel has some stuff that's very much important to the current metagame, but the ability to just basically shut down all strategies outside of just playing characters for a turn is obviously very impactful, and your opponent's ability to catch up and do whatever it is that they need to do to get back in the game potentially. And so I definitely think it'll be good.
Doesn't stop locations.
How good? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't stop locations, and locations definitely seem to be one of the more important aspects of the set. So I think that's actually a very good transition, Cody. Thank you for that.
You're so welcome, Zach.
Into another card, which is the Ruby Elsa Legendary, which is a 6-cost inkable 5/5 quests for 1. Has a shift 4 that has 2 abilities. The first one is when you play this character and whenever you play a location, you may exert chosen character with 3 strength or less. And the second ability is while this character is at a location, she gets +3 lore. So at a location, she's a 6-cost 5/5 quest for 4. I'll kick this one over to Matt and Hayden, because I know that they've been pretty high on this one.
We're the resident red-purple savants.
That's what you always say. This definitely feels like a red-purple card at heart. And so, yeah, I mean, one, they've talked about it already. Matt already has overnighted a playset of iconic, or not iconic, of epic 3-drop Elsa. So yeah, what is it that you guys like about this so much, and what is the upside potential of this Elsa card?
Okay. I'll go first, I guess. I like everything about this card. The shift 4, you get to curve in the 3-drop Elsa into shift 4, tap a Cheshire Cat, trade favorably, and then it survives. You can play like a library, whatever location, and then you start questing for 4.
And you get to tap again.
And then you get to tap again. Like this card does it a lot. If you think the 5-drop Elsa was good, this card I think might be very meta warping. I think it might push a lot of these cards out of the meta.
You know what you didn't say? You didn't say you shift this on 4, tap their Cheshire Cat, and then banish it, and then you're going into your turn 5, where you can play your Cheshire Cat and move the damage off of Elsa.
Very true.
To then do whatever. So,
yeah, but the problem is like you could just want to play library because library.
I know, but I'm saying like if you need again that's it's obviously very like matchup dependent, but like. If you're needing this to live, then you just like play your Cheshire and move the damage and like make this thing live forever too. But
I think the good thing is both of those plays like are extremely powerful.
Sure.
And then
sure.
You can also play the other 3-drop Elsa, the new Ruby one. I think you get to play a location for 2 less, but
Yep.
And I don't know how good that one's gonna be. It's probably pretty decent, but. It lures for 2. I think it's a 2/2 for 3.
It's kind of meh.
So,
yeah, that's the correct line for that one.
I think that card's bait, but there is a card that I think is bonkers with this card that we should probably find and talk about now if you have it.
Hidden code?
No, Cold never bothered me anyway. It's the new card.
That one's up here.
It's such a good enabler for this like engine to exert things. This card's kind of bonkers. You get a free library on the turn. You play that Elsa, tap down 2 things. Like you get some crazy trades in. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
My only issue is like how many locations do you have to play?
At least probably 12 minimum.
Yeah, I feel like the song's math from the Elsa or from the not the Elsa the Ariel days says like 16 to 18.
But
like if you want to hit again, like it's a different like math for sure, because like you don't all like it, you're never wanting to whiff with Ariel. Obviously you don't want to whiff with this, but I think it's like not the end of the world if you do. But anyways, yeah. Real quickly, again, just to stay on top of this, it's a 3-cost uninkable Ruby song that says, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a location card and put it into your hand. Put the rest into your discard. You pay 3 less for the next location you play this turn.
Very interesting.
And you don't have to add the location to get the reduction. So it does something, even if you whiff.
Sure, that's fair.
I just wanted to say, hearing red players have fun with new cards is like brushing your teeth and drinking orange juice. That's all. That's my only comment.
Cody's such a hater.
Devin, your response to that?
He doesn't have a response. That his response is no response. Okay, but did I cut you off, Mo? Did you finish your thought on this one?
No, I definitely did.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I hope, again, I've said this for a couple weeks now. I just want alternative strategies. I just don't want character curve strategies. I think locations are like a very good way to break up that. Just like play a character, just sit it there, play a character, sit there, play a character, sit there until you have like your big swing turn of like, turn everything sideways and challenge a bunch of stuff and have a bunch of positive interactions. Playing locations puts a clock on your, opponent's board. And so, just some sort of way to, disrupt those, board stalemates, I think is really good. And so hopefully locations do have some sort of impact. And I do think there's a lot of synergies around that potential now. So I guess we'll see.
I have a good choice for the next one.
Okay. What is that?
The genie.
Yep. Genie.
Oh, should we talk about him or his partner in crime first? Let's talk about Genie first.
I think I was gonna say, I think Genie. I think it makes sense to talk about Genie first.
That's how I got there.
Yeah.
Okay, Genie is a 3-cost inkable amethyst card with a 3/4 stat line. Quest for 1 is a whisper, so it has a boost 1 ability, and its boost ability is this character gets +1 lore for each card under him.
Yeah.
So yeah, take it away, you guys.
I'll let someone else go first because I'm just frothing at the mouth to talk about this.
Me too. I think on the surface, this is the best card in the set right now. If I could play one card out of the, if you could take one card out of the reveals and put them in our decks right now, it would be this one. It would be crazy. It does a lot of stuff and it combos so well with some of the other stuff we get. It just seems like so valuable and it can apply so much pressure while also like not ever getting traded favorably because it's a 3/4. Like I like everything about it.
Sorry, real quick. There's for those who listened last weekend, I played in the CCQ in Arizona, or for last week's episode. There were a couple games where I legitimately had 4 or 5 cards under my Cheshire Cat. In a couple different scenarios. So obviously, like that's the like the home run scenario. But even if this guy's questing for 2 or 3, like that's still a much more intensive clock that people have to think about. So.
If only there was another card in the set that could just work with this boost mechanic somehow. I'm pressed for ideas here. No,
we'll get there.
I have been blessed with having a day today that I get to spend mostly on Lorcana, and I got some reps in with this card, and it's insane. It quests for a lot really quick, and we'll talk about how it gets there. But the other thing is it's very efficient in it's just not a bad body. Like, why can't Amethyst have one thing wrong with it? Why can't it be uninkable? Why can't it be like a 1/4?
Yeah,
it's definitely disgusting how easy this card is. I will disagree with Hayden. I think if 3/4 is kind of easy to take down right now, at least if it goes sideways, it is. There's a lot of like predators in the meta for a card like this.
Yeah,
but
I thought about that when I said it. Like, okay, it does get traded favorably into it sometimes, but like when that's happening, I think most of the time you've already gotten 2 lore, so it's like not the worst
but
thing.
I think what I took Hayden to mean by that is it's not like a straight 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
Like you're either running a cat into it and something else, or a cat plus a boost. Like
Lexington.
Yeah,
Lexington,
I mean, okay, fine, like whatever. Bagheera. Okay, I mean, there are definitely things, but sure, whatever. Okay,
now, if only there existed a card that could punish people for taking this card out in a challenge, what would happen? How could we get there?
Wait, I want to give my opinion on it because I am the contrarian. Okay. I feel like this is going to be the most overhyped card of the set.
It's not. Hayden are the only people I've heard hyping it.
No, I feel like everyone loves this card.
Devin,
yes,
go.
Devin.
Devin, go.
I could see a card like this really annoyingly paving the way for a Cheshire blowout or a Bell blowout in the later turns. Like normally you would have had to like expend a Cheshire to get somebody to trade into something with some of their resources, but now you just get to follow that up with keeping your Cheshire till 5 and then punishing them if Genie gets to pressure it all. So yeah, I think it's a very good proactive card.
Yeah,
I don't think this card's bad. I want to say that really first. I'm not being that obviously contrarian, but I've been seeing everyone on Twitter talking about this card, and I don't know. I think it's good. I really hate how it doesn't all it does is quest. And I feel like the 3-drop slot is like so contested that like I was comparing it to like the 3-drop Steel Genie that gives evasive on your turn, and I was just like, I don't even know. Like I feel like I'd still, depending on the meta, like I feel like I would need that utility. Like I don't know if I can like risk my 3-drop just not being understated in this economy. There's a lot of things that can trade into it, just like we all said.
Now,
so
hear me out. Spoilers. This card finds a way to quest for a lot really quickly.
Sure,
really quickly.
And I think it can be really good. I don't know. I just don't think it's like that crazy.
I mean,
going first is absurd. Like right now in my head, like it just seems so strong going first. Like
I do like Devin's take a lot on like on curve. This is one where it's like, okay, like I'm okay to just like quest for 2 and turn this sideways and then like make them figure it out. because they can't just leave it there, because then next turn could be questing for 3 or 4 or whatever. And so it forces them to take it out, and then you get positive trades after that. And then later in the curve, like you play it on the board with like, I don't know, 16 lore or 17 lore. And it's like, okay, do you want to just like hope that I can't boost this a couple times and close the game out here? Or are you going to, like overextend to take it out? So I think that just the scary potential has a lot of upside to it.
Like if your opponent, like even just in Ruby Amethyst normal curves right now, like if you're not removing this card immediately, they're at so much lore on turn 4. Like they've now gotten to like 12 lore on turn 4 or something, because they go like guard into Diablo, quest for 1, next turn play Genie, quest for 3, you're at 4, next turn this thing, quest for 2, 4, 5, and you're at 9. I don't know. It's be so fast. Like that would be so fast.
I will say, if you do boost though, you're sacrificing a 4-drop to.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're like taking a little bit of tempo off to get this 1 lore.
I mean, I'm gonna play a 3 cost or a 2 cost that lures for 2.
Yeah,
Like you want to get the 4-drop Genie so you can continue playing until you can get the more card draw. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, I know. I mean,
play library boost for 1.
Play library boost for 1.
Yeah, and you could always play Cheshire on 3 with a boost 2, or on 4 with a boost Genie, and then it's like, hey, deal with this or don't. It's gonna be bad either way. I'm just glad it doesn't draw cards.
I mean, just like my point is,
it doesn't draw cards.
If only there was a card that allowed it to draw a card.
Okay.
Wait.
I'm moving on.
Wait.
Okay.
My point is like that curve right there, unchecked, ends the game on like turn 5. Like,
that's true.
You don't need anything else. It just ends the game if your opponent is not like on the board trying to contest you.
Yeah, they're probably still playing things, unless it's like a blue deck. I think it's gonna be in some purple decks, not all purple decks.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't think Purple Steel plays this. I definitely don't think.
I think they would. I think they would.
Maybe
with elephants.
It's so slow unless you have this card.
Okay, and then here is the card that Mo's been frothing at the mouth to talk about. So this is the new Emerald Legendary, Donald Duck, 4-cost inkable, 4/4 stat line, quest for 1. Has 2 abilities that says whenever you use boost ability of a character, you may put top card of your deck face down under them. So you can boost Genie twice in 1 turn. If Donald's on the board, you boost, or when you boost Genie and then Donald's on board, so Donald's ability triggers, and so you get another card under him. And then his second ability is during your opponent's turn, whenever one of your characters is banished, you may draw a card for each card that was under them.
If only there was a super synergistic card.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all want to go first because I have a TED talk on this card.
Yeah, I have a very small. I love this card, but I immediately saw this card and went, I'm never gonna not play green. I'm never gonna play anything that's not green purple ever again. Like most can take this.
Thank God we have the green purple master himself, because I think that's the early consensus. I mean, obviously, there's still a lot more cards to be revealed, but
this card's crazy.
Okay, so like on the surface,
insane.
Like just playing Cheshire Cat on 5 and boosting and getting to move 4 damage. That's like the most basic thing that this card does. That's like insane. But you could have also played, this Genie we were just talking about on turn 3, and then now you have this Genie that they have to deal with that can draw you cards. A Cheshire that's boosted twice, that if they remove it, now draws you 2 cards. You probably played Flynn Rider on 1 that we can boost to get us another card. Like, this thing is actually insane because it makes a target for itself that makes these other cards on your board that you want to kill the Cheshire Cat, because you got to get Cheshire Cat off the board. But now you cannot kill Cheshire Cat because this Donald Duck is on the board, and you have to kill this thing first, or they draw 3 and have another.
Exactly. That's the beauty of this card. I
hope I nail myself.
This is so much this is like the best tempo card I have seen, because you give your opponent 2 choices, you give them 2 options, and they both suck. That's the best thing. Yeah.
Devin, I think you had something to say real quick in response to this card.
I think detectives have a decent out with hard casting Hurl and punching to 3/4 with Francine.
So let me talk about this.
So
plus
glad we
the
have our
genie
dedicated
here.
blue steel player.
Yeah.
Blue steel's gonna have an
the copium blue steel player.
Well, one.
Oh, we get to talk about Riftbound.
Oh
No.
yes. So hang on.
No, we're on Lorcana. There's new cards.
Handle it Sanctum. That'd be a cool card.
Okay.
If it existed.
Oh my
For
god!
one-
I swear,
Devin?
I don't like my internet. It just has to be this. It has to be this stupid restream. I need to figure out what's going on.
In
We
this
have the-
hypothetical
Alright.
world, we're not turning that genie sideways for one. So you're not trading into that genie because we're never doing that. We're leaving
We're never
that thing
doing
forward. We're not questing
Um,
if it's not boosted.
So the biggest things to consider with this card is how much it tears apart the Amethyst Standstill in a really good way. You play it alongside something you boosted, whether it's like Flynn Rider or you have a Cheshire Cat. You don't typically curve out this card. You can if you're in a matchup where you can feel safe doing that. You can, but the true strength of this card comes in the late game. And if you play it alongside like Genie, for example, Genie's not your turn 3 play. You play something else to keep your opponent checked. You can establish the duck if it's a safe thing to establish. And then you go Genie on 5 and then play in double boost. And then on 6, you're questing for 5 with your 3/4 and threatening that against your opponent. You can always play. And the something else is like this card stacks. This card stacks with itself. So that you get just crazy lines where you have a Genie questing for 6 or 7.
Yeah,
and
3,
just out
4.
of nowhere. Like,
It seems so
like,
dumb. Wait, you play Genie on 3, Donald on 4, Donald on 5, boost, move 3 things under him, quest for 4. Now you can't challenge. Like, what do you do?
The biggest power from this card comes from the illusion of choice. Thank you, Devin. There we go.
Your opponent
You make them have, if they shoot it, you pressure them with sideways characters. You pressure them with lore gain in other ways. If they don't shoot it, it just amasses a huge advantage for you. You play this alongside Chromacon. Imagine an Emerald Chromacon next to a Cheshire Cat with 3 cards under it. Your opponent does not have a good choice in that scenario. And this card puts on so much just pressure alone that it's just an insane card. I definitely don't think it's only green purple though. So something to note: this says whenever one of your characters is banished, draw a card for each card under them. You turn a Webby sideways, you draw a card for that Webby that has the duck there. You play Scrooge McDuck, the new one that puts a card under your board and gives you ward. You get to draw a card every time they banish one of those characters that had it, and you get to ward your Donald Duck. This card is, I am so, like, I don't know what green did. I guess we've just been in the chamber for so long. We just kept getting terrible cards or just uninkable cards from like set 6, 7, and 8. Like we got Go-Go in 6, but 7 and 8 were not so great. And then I think it was just punished for the sins of Diablo because now we've gotten Webby and this card. It's insane. This card is bonkers.
Okay, let me ask you this then. I mean, I know this is like a very niche thing and probably doesn't matter like as much as just the general utility of it in the long run, but like imagine you have like boost 1 characters on board and like 1 ink left at the end of your turn. Like if you're just constantly boosting stuff, like not even Genie, just like the 5-drop Ursula that, you know, you boost for 1 and it quests for 3. Like, you know, at the end of your turn, if you have another thing to just be able to like, or your Flynn Rider, you know, you're just sitting here like additional ink boosting to just like build up that pressure to like continue to get more resources. Like, I feel like there's just so much synergy now with boosting / shifting / doing all of these undercard mechanics that it will just, you know, that potential with this just like tips it over the edge and just like makes its value explode.
Yes, very much.
Was there a question there? What did you just say?
Like, I honestly think that this card is so good that if you gave me 4 of these cards and without that Genie, I could put them in a green purple deck right now. And I don't think, like, I guess with that Genie, a green purple deck with these cards, I don't think would lose to any of the decks that are built right now. Like, seems very difficult.
Bet.
Yeah, it's definitely very powerful. Obviously it has weaknesses. It has some counterplay and things you can deal with it. It requires a certain type of deck built around, but this is the best support for Whispers I think we've seen so far. He's incredible.
Yep. Okay. Is this your number one card revealed so far, Mo?
All right. I gotta ask you a question on that. Do I think it's the most powerful card in the set, or is it my number one card?
We'll go both.
It is my number one card in a heartbeat. I agree with Hayden. I think if I had this card in Richmond, I would have been very well positioned. I think this is one of the most incredible, it's just such a boost for creativity in a way that you get to just explore this new archetype with such a powerful card, pushing it forward. That being said, no, there's a card I think that's going to be a little bit more meta warping that we're probably about to have to talk about that I think is probably my pick for best card in the set.
Which one is that?
Let me see your tabs. Oh, it's the next tab.
This tab. One. Yeah, I meant to do this one too because we have an enchanted view. Is this one you're talking about?
Yeah. That's, in my opinion, the best card in the set. And I know people will disagree with me, but we'll see.
Okay, for those listening, I have another action, an amber action that's a 3-cost inkable. Ohana means family, and Ohana means family.
Thank you.
Ohana means family.
It's a Rapunzel action. So this says remove all damage from chosen character of yours. Draw 1 card for each 1 damage removed this way. So it's a unlimited Rapunzel. Actually, this could be 6 or 7 damage if you've got a massive body. God, what did I do? Why did I say 5 or 6? This is a complete hand refresh. So
yeah.
Insane art, by the way, might I say, and then I'll shut up.
I love the art.
It's beautiful.
I think it's
both are.
I love the enchanteds this up.
The duck on Stitch's head, crazy.
I don't know if this is gonna be the best card of the set. I think Rapunzel would still be better than this card.
Oh, well, yeah.
Rapunzel's definitely better.
Yeah. I just think
if we're judging it by how many of these cards are going to be better than Rapunzel, I'm sorry, Matthew, you're going to hit 0.
Yeah. Honestly, everything in this set is terrible. It still doesn't compete with first chapter somehow, which is kind of funny.
I think this card is such an enabler for Amber mid-range strategies that it opens up a huge, vast world. And I just think there's just a huge punish in the game playing against Amber right now where, people don't have that fear of Rapunzel left in them. Is it correct to play around this card? It's not a character. Your opponent's technically taking a tempo loss. What's wrong with turning this 3-strength character in front of a Daisy Duck? And then they draw 3 and suddenly you get blown out of the game. And it's like, well, oops. I think this card makes a lot of new strategies powerful. I don't know if it goes in. I think modern Amber Steel is the aggressive Tiana version of the deck has to change. I don't think there's a great use case for this deck in that. But I think a deck looking to play Amber Steel with Goliath or Amber Ruby is a big deck I think's been waiting for an enabler like this. I think it just allows so many new Amber Amethyst, yellow purple. This is such a powerful card. Yes, Devin.
What about Amber Sapphire, Mo?
I was about to say, I think this allows Amber Sapphire to be a deck. I mean, it already is one. We saw it do relatively well with Josh Pault's run at Richmond, but still, it wasn't quite there. This gives you the draw that you really need. And Amber Sapphire is getting better and better removal options as it goes. So it's not just LOL, the color combination with no draw and no removal. We're in a phase where you're going to have both. And you have these gigantic bodies. You get to swing at stuff turn after turn. And if they turn sideways in front, this card just punishes so hard. Fantastic card. I expect it to warp the meta.
I think I agree with most sentiment. And when he says it might not be the most powerful, but it's the most valuable card. for its color. Like it allows all these other decks to even be like played and be conceived. Like, you know, you can't play red yellow because we don't have any draw, but now, oh, maybe we can. So that's why I think it's like it's more valuable to the deck versus like a 2 or 3 of that purple steel might play. Yeah.
I'm glad it exists. I do love Rapunzel as a card, but in the vacuum, Rapunzel was just way better than most things. So I think this is the fix Rapunzel, and I'm okay with this.
I'm going to draw 6 off this card one time, and
I mean, well, there's some pretty obvious curves in Ruby Amber that I think seem really good, like the Huey or Pluto lines into Raja or Minnie Mouse. Those are like easy ways to like keep your board alive and be able to draw. Like Raja doesn't get killed early, and if they try to, you can draw 3. But mostly, it's going to be that 0/8 Minnie Mouse, the dual ink one that is going to be really tough for decks to deal with in the early game. And if they leave anything sideways, you can potentially draw 4 or 5 cards really easily.
My initial thought was Amber Ruby with the 3-drop Prince John that puts that's a 5/5 for 3 that puts a damage counter on it every time your opponent plays a character. And so it's like, just let it sit there because it's a 5/5 and it'll trade into anything. And then if they decide, they have to like keep playing stuff out to do their curve, then at some point you just heal it all up and then you get a bunch of cards and you keep going. So that was my initial one. I like that idea because there's obviously the damage matter stuff in Ruby, and so that helps all of that. But
if only there was another card that was connecting piece to the strategy here that could maybe give them a source of ramp. I don't know if such a thing exists, but it's almost like they would work really well together.
Oh God, what did I miss? I honestly don't know which one you're talking about now.
Pulling cards out of nowhere. Are we talking about the Mountain Giant Grammatala?
No, not the Mountain Giant Grammatala. Sandwich Lad.
Sandwich Lad?
Yep.
I want to call him Leroy, but his name's not Leroy.
Ruben?
Yeah, Ruben.
Oh, yeah.
Side note, did you guys ever play the sandwich stacking game on the Disney Channel website?
No.
No, you're making this up.
No. You never played on... You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay, on DisneyChannel.com, they used to have a bunch of games, and you could go to all the like different shows and stuff and play the games. And like one of them was like Lilo and Stitch. You got to design your own alien. You got to like make it all kinds of crazy different things. But another one is you were Reuben, and you had a sandwich, and sandwiches would fall from the sky, and you would stack them and move around and stack them. I guarantee you, people listening will know what that is. People play that game.
I hope so.
Comment if you know what that is.
Okay, Ruben is a 2-cost inkable sandwich expert and Amber 1/3 stat line, quest for 1. But his ability is where he really starts to shine, which is exert and then remove up to 2 damage from chosen character of yours. For each 1 damage removed this way, you pay 1 less for the next character you play this turn. So I don't know. What's your thought on like what you're ramping to? Is it like you getting out a massive bodyguard to like protect all your stuff that you played, or what's your ideal line that makes you excited about this one?
So he's got some versatility throughout the game, but I think a lot of his power comes from the obvious curve of Mulan 1, Ruben 2 into 5-drop on turn 3. It's just very strong to be able to do that. You can on turn 3, you can shift that Mulan. It's a popular play I've been seeing people talk about. I think he's just a source of ramp that it flows pretty well throughout the game where, you play him, you play a Prince John, you start diversifying your resources. If they sing strength on your Ruben, your Prince John takes for free, and then you have ways to heal the damage off and punish with the other cards. It's just a really cohesive strategy behind it, in my opinion, that allows this card just great scaling throughout the game while being a very strong early game curve out.
Is there enough speed in a strategy like that? Because you're talking, a 1 quester on 1, a 1 quester on 2, and then sure, like against aggressive decks, you can like shift Mulan on 3 if you need to, and then like hit a couple things and be fine. But if you're playing a more control-y game and you're needing to like go sideways, is there enough lore involved in this? I mean, obviously, like maybe you're just not trying to play him on 2, and so it doesn't matter, and so you're just inking him in those matchups, but. Just I guess in general for like Amber Ruby, do we think that there's enough like pressure to put on to make it?
I I think the colors lack a little bit of that lore pressure. I just don't know. We might have to play to a late game strategy. If only they had like a board wipe or something they could do.
Oh god.
I really wish they had
No,
that.
you're just
like,
making up cards now.
Segue.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know if that's been
Did he get the script?
officially
You don't have?
revealed yet.
I think Ruben is a bad card. He's a 1/3 for 2.
Dang. Okay. Fight.
This card is not good. I think you're clicking a little bit too much.
it's so good. It's so good.
You don't.
No,
open
I'm
the
sold.
line.
I think you just like you have a strategy that just punishes your opponent for turning sideways. Like, yes, it's a 1-3 on 2, but you play a 5-5 on 3, you play a 2-3 on 1, and all of these damage counters just become value in theory behind this deck. It may just not function whatsoever. Like, but I do think this card has some interesting power behind it. I think if it had like a Mother Gothel, if we had another just little damage source to go alongside Mulan, it could be a little better. But I like it. I like it.
Okay, let me like take this in like a little bit of a different direction. So I Ohana means family and this are kind of like working in the same venue, but you're doing two different things. So are you playing these in the same deck? And it's just like, okay, whichever of these, I draw into is what I'm playing. Like if I, draw Ohana means family, then I'm like trying to play into that where I get more resources. Because obviously, like if you need to draw cards, you're not trying to like remove the damage with Ruben and Ramp. So is it something you're playing together, or are they separate, or are there different strategies for Amber going forward?
1000%. Like when I was just telling about this card to Matt, like you play it early and you can potentially get value, you may not, but the fact is this whole deck is designed around punishing your opponent that decides to turn sideways. And I think maximizing on these cards that do that and having cards like Prince John, like Mulan that are guaranteed value off of your Ohana, I think is what really makes the deck flow.
You know what
Like,
it reminds me of?
What
it
is
makes me. It's like an Amber version of Tipo. Like Tipo's terrible stats, so you wouldn't ever play that as just like a 2-drop, but you play it for the effect.
Yeah.
And these yellow decks want to heal things, so there is like this red yellow healing strategy. So I think it makes sense. I like that little turn. I don't know what 5-drops you want to play, but
I will be a contrarian again. I think Tipo is better because you get the ramp immediately. And you don't have to come through.
Yeah, like if your goal is to ramp, obviously you want to play blue. But I'm saying like it's something for these decks to do that has like synergy. I think 2-drop ramp in a way.
Yeah, I think there's still some value behind it. So say you like the Mulan combo is obviously strong. It's you get to play a 5-on-3. It's effectively the same cost as like Tipo, where you could do either a 4-on-3, a 5-on-3 if it resolves. But say you don't even have it. Say you go Daisy Duck into Ruben. That still checks your opponent and locks them down for a turn effectively until they can deal with the Ruben and push him off. But I think he has some potential. I mean, when you're looking at Amber Ruby, you got to compare him to everything else you have to work with. But I don't know. I think the niche of a 5-on-3 is unique enough to try to push this card. At least
I agree.
A
That's
bit.
why I think he's not just worse than Tipo because he does something like fundamentally different than Tipo.
Yeah, I'm just comparing him because he's very similar in that regards, right?
I agree.
To set up a bigger play next turn.
Okay, he does have like a high roll, good like curve out, but he is not good. He's not good.
He's as good as what else you're playing after him. So if there's other things that for 5 that we want to play, that's good. But then he suddenly becomes really good.
But you're saying that you're going to get this effect on turn 3, maximum value, and you're not.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree. I think that's the weakness of the card.
I don't think you necessarily like have to do that. I mean, if we're going back to like Ohana means family. And you have the draw engine in these colors to enable you to get to a higher end curve. Imagine playing the Whisper Simba a couple turns early because this has healed something, and then you pop that out before it, or you play a Mal Dragon early because this has allowed you to ramp ahead of it, and you have the draw to enable you to play those higher cost cards. Is that something you're trying to do? I don't know. I just think that the whole draw / like ramp synergies that you're getting from this set, that it seems. It enables you to like open the door to like new possibilities that you just never had in these color combinations. I mean, if we think back to like even the worlds testing that we did with Mo in these colors, it was like yeah, if you're gonna do this, you might as well just like go 100% aggro and like run it down mid with these colors because it's not gonna do anything else. Everything we tried to do, even with Rapunzel drawing, is it a what reference?
That's a league reference.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately
run it down mid.
No.
But yeah, so anyways, like I think it just enhances the capabilities of like what you can do with Amber specifically, because especially since rotation it's not been able to do anything at all besides be aggro. And so I like the options for more things.
I have one thing for you to think on, Matt. If you're saying the weakness of this card is he's never going to resolve, if we have a 2 cost that's worth a strength of a Raging Fire, is that not worth playing? Like, you don't have to go from 2 to 5. You could keep him for a turn and go from 3 to 6. Or you could keep him sitting there for forever and just your opponent never turns sideways to give you the 2 damage for you to manipulate and ramp with. And is that not like getting a decent amount of value? I think this card's got some really cool stuff. He's not going to do the same thing every game. He's not Tipo. He's very different. But I do think he puts a unique spin of pressure on the game, kind of like Rapunzel, kind of like Ohana, where you get to turn these damage counters into straight value. That seems really cool. I like the idea of playing a shark on 4. That sounds kind of fun.
You know what I wish he did though?
Yeah.
I will say there's one thing I wish they changed. I wish you could heal your opponent's stuff, because wasn't he like overly friendly in the movie?
Oh,
It would be awesome if you could heal your opponent's things and you get the ramp bonus.
I mean, there are definitely worlds where that matters, where like if they have a Cheshire or something, it's like, okay, I'm just not going to give you the value from it, and then you get a benefit. I mean, that would be kind of cool.
So much fun.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad if you go him on 2, then Prince John on 3. He's not a bad card. He does have an interesting effect. It doesn't do nothing, but I don't know. I'm not completely sold on the card.
Last thing I'll say on this, and then we can kind of scroll and wrap up from here. But with the Mickey Amber Champion too, like there could be the potential for so much damage laying around that you could get Ohana draw and do stuff with him and just get a bunch of potential for stuff. So you guys are smarter than I am. I think there's something there, but I think it's interesting for sure, at the least. Okay, one other one I would like to talk about is Beast Snowfield Troublemaker, 2-cost inkable in Ruby, 3/1 stat line, quest for 1, has rush, and has the ability that says whenever this character challenges, if he's at a location, he takes no damage from the challenge. I think this one could be cool. Maybe not. Maybe it is. It's the buy a box promo for the set. So he has a promo card, and if you buy a box from your LGS, then
they hate us as players.
Really, I think this card's pretty dang good.
Oh, my bad. I said that because it was Ruby.
No, of course.
Oh.
But I also do not think this card's playable.
I don't think it's playable.
This card is good. I don't know what you're
It's a 3/1 with rush. It's a 2/3/1 inkable with rush. That's so good.
Yeah.
You can use it as a removal, or you can.
And if you're doing your Elsa location synergies, then he doesn't take damage. He comes in, he smacks you, and then he doesn't take damage.
I'm pretty sure he dies to Tinkerbell, guys.
But he's already smacked something and lived through it, so that's fine.
Yeah, it can take out the sandwich maker.
No, Ruben! Don't worry. I already horsemaned your 1-drop in this situation. It's fine.
Hey.
I
mean, I think this card is underwhelming. I don't think it's as good as I think Matthew thinks it is, probably. But
you don't know how good I think it is. I think it's played.
You don't know how good I think it is.
I can tell how good you think it is by the tone of your voice.
I can tell you how good I think it is.
I like it. I like it. I think the
playable.
location stuff's cool.
I'm being contrarian. I think it's fine. I think the stats are like really important, and I don't know if a 2-drop 3/1 rush is as good as it used to be.
Oh,
I thought the same thing with Duckworth. I was like, oh, Duckworth's gonna be sweet because all this boost stuff. Turned out a 3/1 with rush ain't killing nothing.
But that's a 3. Uninkable. This is a 2-cost inkable card. That's crazy.
And I still don't think we're beating the math.
Okay, sometimes
math ain't mathing.
3 attack, infinite health.
That's my
Sometimes
point.
it is
That's
bad.
why I think
Buddy,
it's good.
we live in a Cheshire economy. That thing is never staying around like that.
That's fine though. If it comes in and it banishes something and they're forced to move the Cheshire damage to that, then I think it's gotten its value.
Well, no, I
Yeah,
just
I
think
think
if my
so, too.
opponent's turn is play this, move it over to a location, I'm like, wow, my opponent just skipped a turn.
How
No,
though?
I
Because they're
smack into something and it's in a
Challenger.
library, and now you have to banish and I draw.
I don't know. Like,
and then it goes
hey,
+1.
I would love for me to have so much egg on my face.
Well, no, it's not about that. I just think about like the situation you're describing right now doesn't sound that bad. I play it, move it into library, take something, and they Cheshire Cat and kill it, and I draw a card. So my card went 2 for 1 and took a boost from them. Like that's not that bad.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a bad card. I don't know if it will see play, but
Me either. I don't know.
I would not have expected this to be the divisive one.
Hey,
I
I'm
love
not
you said, I
confident.
don't think it's a bad card. Will it see play? I don't know.
Okay. Moving on. I think we have to talk about this one. It's an extremely interesting card. It's also the set championship promo card for the set.
I know.
The
Finally a store
Amethyst.
champ one I want.
The Amethyst Tinkerbell from this set. It's a 3-cost inkable, 3/3 stat line, quest for 1. Has 2 abilities. First one says while you have 4 or more cards in your hand, this character gains evasive. And the second ability is while you have 7 or more cards in your hand, this character gets +3 lore. So it has the potential to be a 3/3 evasive that quests for 4.
I think this card is garbage.
Okay, I kind of do
That's
too.
great.
I kind of do too.
I like this card a lot.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wait, are you serious?
Oh my god!
I mean,
Said away, are
This
you
is-
serious?
this is going to be a beast opinion.
Is it maybe a what opinion?
The beast opinion about what we just had.
I think we were
Looking
flipping
at-
sides. Yeah, I think we're flipping sides here.
I know. So I'm saying this is good. You're right. Yeah.
I think it's good too.
Oh my
What?
god!
What's good
Oh
about
my
it?
God.
What is good
Yeah,
about it?
what is
Why
good
is your
about
name
this?
I hate
I think
Cody?
it boils down:
Wait,
is a
hold up.
3-cost 3/3 evasive good enough to see play?
No.
I
Absolutely not.
think
So
my
there's your
biggest
answer.
It is.
my biggest qualms with that is we live in a world ruled by Demona. If you're playing Amethyst, you're playing around Demona or Tour, and this card does not function with Demona. They were very careful
does.
not to make it 3 or more
Wait,
cards in
it-
hand.
I
Wait,
mean,
It's the-
it works for your opponent's Demona because if your opponent plays Demona, then you draw for turn and have an evasive Tinkerbell.
But who
Yeah,
cares if
yeah,
you're
but-
playing a 3-cost 3/3 that has evasive? That is like the most
If it-
mid stat line of all time.
If
But
the
I
card
think-
board for 2 naturally, I think it would be good, but it doesn't. So
I would agree with that. I would agree with
Yeah.
that.
I
I
mean,
think it would
I don't-
work best into like a Brainiac strategy that use this to close out games.
yeah.
Sure.
I think
that's
like,
fair.
that's
Like
fair.
I think
mean,
this, yeah. Like I don't think this is like a meta card per se, but I mean, like even a 3-drop 3/3 inkable, that's already playable. It's
Terrible.
not great,
Oh, great.
but
That's
like,
right.
but like,
It's
not-
terrible.
It's
it's
terrible.
not- Hey, listen to me.
We
Hey,
have a
it-
1-drop 3/3 now. We have a 1-drop 3/3.
which is terrible.
People
Cody,
don't
you
play
argued
Pete.
that the 3/4 was too small from Genie.
No. Okay, listen to me. I agree. I think it is. It's not great. I'm not playing this card because I'm trying to fill a 3-drop slot. But like, yeah, like if you're doing like a certain strategy, I do think this card's really neat about the, like, oh, it just naturally is like gonna be a huge quester for like very little for you like just trying to play a deck that draws a bunch of cards.
Yeah,
Like I think
it's
it's it. It's an ender for like the Brainiac strategies, and it's not like they're like having to compromise by putting this in the deck.
But
Because when
I think
it's
they are.
oh no.
Well, the
No,
problem
they-
is I think even the
Hmm.
Brainiac decks, most of the time, they're not sitting with 7 cards in their hand. And even if you get
Yeah, they're
there,
sitting with 20.
get there,
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Boring for 4 isn't even that great anyway. Like if
But
it
they-
looked for
but they-
7,
but
we
they-
might be talking about
You're
something.
talking about the 3-drop Genie Lord for 4 or 3 in your
Okay, that's so much easier to do though.
And
Like-
it doesn't even have evasive. When this thing does that, it has evasive by the rules of the card.
I guess, but it's just like a
All
function
right.
that's so much more difficult.
Here,
to
this
get
is what
to.
we need to do. I have a new challenge for this next set. We need to find a way to get this thing to have +3 lore, but not evasive.
That's not, that's not possible, but
No, it is definitely possible.
No, it's not.
well, you have
Absolutely give it lore with other cards and make
Yeah.
it play.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Garland
fine.
beer.
You could
Garland
also
beer.
you could also technically like quest for 4 with 7 cards in your hand, and then like dump your hand, and it no longer has evasive, I guess. But
So I like 2 things about this card. The art is beautiful.
art.
I'm so excited to play in the set champs. And 2, Fairy Tribal. That Shift Tinkerbell from like 5 sets ago, I think is such a cool card that has nothing enabling it that gives all your fairies +1.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
That card does feel very good.
we are
And
this close.
I know this
That-
is another inkable, evasive Tinkerbell. Like
Yeah.
we have to be getting closer every single day.
Is this
We
card
have
iconic?
to.
Like this is all I'm gonna say. If there's even a world where this card is playable, I will be getting my place of Sword Champs and playing it.
Okay, quickly. Do we think this Grammatala is fun or dumb?
Fad.
Awesome.
Bad.
Fun. Good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Needs a 12 cost song.
We're
12
all
cost
over.
song.
What?
We're all over the place, so I'm going down the line here.
Wait, this never cost
Hayden.
12, Mo.
Fun.
Matt,
Wait, do I only have 2 options?
fun or dumb?
Fun.
Devin,
Molten Giant.
It's
Golden
Golden
Giant.
Cody,
Fun.
Mo.
Fun.
Okay, these options suck because it can be both fun and bad, which is where I think it's
Okay.
probably
Okay,
at. But
you're ruining the game. The Grammatala is one of the weekly play promos this set. It's a 12 cost uninkable, 6/6 quest for 2, but it has the ability that says for each card in your inkwell you pay 1 less to play this character. So it's one of those like reduce the cost cards where it most likely will cost, I don't know, 5 or 6 at most, and could very well cost way under that.
At most, it's only 6 because you get to 6 ink, and that's when you can play it for 6.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
That's
like,
its worst.
yeah,
best
that,
is 0.
okay. You said it way better than I did, but that's ultimately
know.
what I was trying to
Yeah.
get to. Okay,
Lantern. There's some Lantern shenanigans there that proves that wrong.
yeah, boom roasted.
No, wait, that doesn't work either.
Oh, Cody mentioned
Unless you have like 4 lanterns in play. And
Cody
2
mentioned
ink.
Todd earlier. So,
Oh yeah, this card's so cute.
It's so
Todd,
cute.
the playful kit, 4 cost, inkable, 2/4 stat line in Emerald Quest for 2, and has the ability that says whenever this character quests, you can choose one to either gain 1 lore or chosen character of yours gains evasive until the start of your next turn.
Notably, hero. Like there was that Christmas hero deck that just kind of goes sideways and plays a Hercules and says kill my 5/3 and then kill my board, and this kind of works in that line. I don't know.
Notable.
You could
Notably.
also give him self evasive, I guess, if you're just like
Mhm.
trying to quest out.
Yeah, I think the downside of this card is it needed a higher attack end, or it needed to have some sort of keyword on itself.
Like
But
ward.
I thought the card was cool.
I think
It
if they
needed-
had ward, it might be okay.
It needed an enter the battlefield or it needed to survive Elsa. Elsa
Ward.
Genie. Ward would have been great.
You
Okay.
needed to be able to give your opponents things evasive with it. Then it would have been better.
Yes, you're so
Okay.
right.
Last one, and then we can wrap up. I saw a bunch of people talking about Jacob Marley, and I had no idea what they were talking about. And then I saw this one, and so this is Goofy, a 4 cost uninkable 4/4 stat line quest for 2, boost 2. It says whenever this character is banished, each opponent chooses and discards a card for each card that was under him. So this is another Donald synergy
What
card.
the hell is a Jacob Marley?
That's his subtext, Ghost of Jacob Marley.
I know,
Yeah.
who is that?
Christmas
it's
Carol.
Yeah, I was about to say it's definitely a Christmas Carol thing,
I'm
but I
so
don't
glad
know.
you said that. Like I know what that means. Who is Jacob
What do they
Marley?
teach kids in
I don't
schools
know.
these days?
I mean, it's
Not
from
who
the
Jacob
Christmas
Marley
Carol.
is.
Yeah, but he's clearly like one of the characters from a Christmas Carol. I didn't know you needed
I'm
more
just-
specificity than that.
I'm just saying, y'all don't know.
Okay.
He's the first. He's not the first ghost, but he's the first ghost that Ebenezer sees. Like Charles Dickens. Come on, man. Don't make me feel that old. I love this card. I think this card is really cool in the strategy I mentioned earlier with the Chromicon, with the Donald Duck, with the purple bounce things. It lets you have a offensive tool to trade in. A 4/4 body is not bad, but then you also get resources from your opponent's hand, and you have all the little boost shenanigans to run alongside it. I think standalone, this card's not super great, but I think in the deck that is kind of being forged by these cards, he is very strong. boosting him once and trading him into something like a Cobra can just be game winning against purple steel. This card dictates what your opponents can turn sideways, and without freezing yourself, which I think is ultimately what you just want to do, is tempo out games. We want to break these standstills that the current format is plagued with.
I'm really surprised this card doesn't say when this card is banished on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what?
Mo's evil laugh.
Yes, you can banish it during your turn.
It's so good. Being able to proactively do it makes it a whole different card. Like, if it was almost, I think it's almost unplayable if it doesn't say that. If it says
probably.
I think it is.
I also like that this one and the Donald that say banish, not like in a challenge. It's just banish in general too. I think we've gotten away from that a little bit, which is very exciting as well. I think that puts a lot of people, a lot of pressure on Hades to be removal. But if we're sitting here boosting everything into oblivion and they're giving us 14 ink off of it, like that's kind of exciting too. So
I think there's two things going against that card though.
Okay, go. It's uninkable, I would imagine, is one of them.
Yeah, being uninkable and boost 2. I think it makes it pretty slow because it's like turn 6 is like when you can boost plus Donald.
Yeah, the boost 2 is the one that I had the biggest issue with. Which the question I was going to have for Mo is this something that you're actively trying to boost itself, or are you trying to use like other effects to get the card under it so that you can't have that?
I think either or. What you're really trying to do with these cards is, yes, it does nothing enter the battlefield, but you have so many just like potential powerful plays either later on the game. Boost plus Duckworth on 5 is really strong. I think like you just obviously you don't have this super clean interaction with Donald Duck as most other cards have, but I think establishing either of these threats early and, you know, just try to force your way into a low resource environment where they can really shine, or you have something to protect it alongside it with like a Chromacon, for example. Like I said, it's definitely a card that doesn't just get thrown into everything, but for the initial strategy I'm looking at, it's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I think my biggest problem with all these boosts is like I feel like it's very ink hungry, and you have to sacrifice a lot of tempo to get all these big.
Well, if only there was a way for you to cheat boost onto every character you play.
You still have to boost it.
No.
To cheat the boost.
Oh, you're talking Scrooge.
Yeah, he's talking cheating the boost.
That's pretty good.
We already talked about it.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's just a lot of room with creativity behind these cards. I really like the boost mechanic because while it is like tempo inefficient, it allows you to play without utilizing cards in your hand. So
yeah, you're trading like tempo for card advantage.
Yeah, it's a very value mechanic when it starts churning with each other and ticking. It's kind of the same concept of playing Flynn Rider on 1, boosting him on 2. It allows you to fill out a curve in a weird way, and you can do that later stages of the game as well. I don't know. It's a cool card. I currently like it. Opinion may change later.
Okay, Devin, I'm making you talk. You've been quiet too long.
Oh.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts for everybody. Please let us know what your favorite cold weather beverages are.
Yes.
That's hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. Yeah, that was an easy one.
Mine's ice water.
If I had to pick one, hot chocolate, but all I drink is water. So
mold anything really, but
mold.
Mold, yeah. You so you just like have like apple cider and you just cook it in spices in like a crock pot. It's just delightful. Yeah,
that is also very good. I like that a lot.
I don't. Mo's too fancy for me, guys. I literally drink water. He said a lot of words right there, and I know what apple cider is.
Yeah,
but
isn't that one of the Dr. Pepper's 23 flavors? Mold.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. What is Faye doing in the background?
Having the time of her life. All
right.
Okay. Well, we've been through about a quarter of the set. There's a lot of exciting cards, as you can tell. A lot of divisive cards, as you can also tell from some of our funny jabs back and forth here. But It is shaping up to be a good set. I think to a couple of the points that were made, anything that's going to be good at forcing the boards to not be in a standstill anymore. Locations could be a potential for that. Genie / Donald could be a potential for that. So yeah, I think there's just a lot more interaction or a lot less just kind of like waiting till your big swing turns. And so that's what excites me the most. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Winter Spell in a couple weeks here, and yeah, keep up with us and we'll keep you up to date with all the new cards and releases that have been revealed. And once Winter Spell comes out, we'll go from there. So thanks everybody guys for listening.